How you doing, YouTube? This is Gunner Sergeant 67 bringing you another YouTube video. Today's YouTube video is going to be on we bombed Iran. Here's what Iran could do and how to prepare for it. Alright, let's get into it, YouTube. Alright, so Iran has been bombed by the United States military. We went ahead and utilized a bunch of B-52 stealth bombers, and we bombed 3 major nuclear sites. The biggest and one of the most important ones was the nuclear site Fordow, and the B-52s utilized 30,000-pound bunker busters. So the Trump administration has said that it has completely annihilated 3 sites. I think in total 12 bunker busters, 12 or 14 bunker busters were utilized on 2 separate sites, and then between 20 and 30 Tomahawk cruise missiles were launched from submarines out in the Persian Gulf against 2 other sites. And so yeah, the President of the United States has said that these 3 nuclear facilities within Iran are completely destroyed. And over the course of the next couple of days, they will be doing a battle assessment, and we'll get more of a clearer picture. I'm sure that we'll see on the internet somebody caught or recorded the explosion, possibly, or they've got some type of video that's floating out there about the aftermath of the bombing. So it remains to be seen just how devastating these bombings were. So, not that I don't trust my own government, but there's been numerous times where they've said one thing and then it really wasn't the case. So yeah, we'll see over the next couple of days as more information comes out. Now that this bombing has taken place, and now the US is smack dab in the middle of this conflict now between Iran and Israel, and now Iran, Israel, and us, it stands to reason that there probably, or there is a possibility of a retaliation from Iran on the United States. So what we're going to go ahead and talk about is what are some of the options or the possibilities and probabilities of the retaliation that Iran will conduct, and what we can do to prepare for it here in the United States. All right, the first thing, let me backtrack. So I'm going to go over these things that can transpire as far as Iran's retaliation. I'm going to start off with the least likely, and I'm going all the way to the most likely. All right, the first thing is Iran can do nothing. I think this is the least likely. If you've ever spent any amount of time in the Middle East or dealt with anybody of Arab heritage, you know that saving face is a huge thing in their culture. So I think this is the least likely. I think that that they are going to retaliate in some way. So like I said, I really don't think that they are not going to do anything. Now, when Israel first attacked Iran, they launched a bunch of missiles and they came close to their nuclear facilities, but they didn't hit them. And then Iran kind of did the same thing. They threw up a bunch of missiles, and Israel's Iron Dome intercepted a lot of them, and the ones that got through, they didn't hit anything. So it was a way to show the world, yeah, we'll retaliate, but we didn't target anything critical. Could that potentially happen in this case? It is definitely a possibility, but I don't think it's probable. In this case, if the reports are true that the U.S., we did completely destroy their nuclear program, they're going to want to get some type of retribution, just in my opinion. All right. The next possibility that Iran could do as far as retaliation goes is the activation of Iranian sleeper cells here in the United States. Now, I do believe that this could happen, especially with the prior administration's 4 years of completely open borders. You have an estimated 10 million illegal immigrants come across just the southern border alone. We're not even counting the northern border. And there are illegal immigrants that come across from Canada to the United States. But just the amount of people that were let in and how easily they got in, you had all kinds of nationalities come through. And Iranian was one of them. So you can also go check on the news for yourself. CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, all of these things, all of these major news outlets, and even the smaller ones, that the U.S. currently right now is actually on alert for Iranian sleeper cells. So there is a possibility that some type of Iranian sleeper cell attack, regardless of how small or how big, can transpire within the continental United States. So just be mindful of that. The third thing that Iran could respond with is the Iranians can block the Straits of Hormuz. And right now they're talking about doing it. The Straits of Hormuz, every single day, 21 million barrels of oil go through the Straits of Hormuz. That equates to about 20% of the world's oil that is utilized. 20%, that's a lot. So if the Iranians decide to mine it or block it, that would definitely cause an issue as far as oil production. You'll sit down there and see the price of oil skyrocket. Within a pretty short period of time, there'll be possibly not oil. There might be a little bit of scarcity, but I don't think it'll be an outright a complete loss of available gasoline and oil out there. But it could have enough of a disruption to raise the price of gasoline and oil, and also cause more wait lines and gas stations, and definitely have more of a stranglehold on the availability of gas and oil. So now with this morning, they were on the news. I was reading and I was listening that Iran is definitely kicking that around. Now with that, the U.S. military and other Middle Eastern countries have a really easy way of deterring Straits of Hormuz blockage from shore to shore. I think it's 21 miles. That strait is at its narrowest. So if they mine it, the U.S. military, the Navy, definitely has ways to go ahead and take care of those mines and open up that waterways for oil commerce again. I think if they really want to block it off, they do something more semi-permanent, like get some type of major vessel out there and they sink it. That would definitely be more problematic for transportation of oil through the Straits of Hormuz. But that is a definite possibility. Now, moving along, Now, number 4 and 5 could be potentially interchangeable. It just depends. But I've got number 4 as cyber attacks on U.S. infrastructure. Now, I think this is very likely. This is not only possible, but extremely probable. You take a country like Iran right now, who's supposedly their nuclear program has just been completely decimated. A lot of their air defenses has been destroyed by Israel when they've been spending their week of hitting targets in Iran, and then also with the United States' airstrikes. It has definitely crippled their capability to defend themselves. And with that said, when you are going up against an opponent that is physically superior to you or technologically superior to you, you start looking for ways to go ahead and hurt your enemy with the biggest bang for your buck, with expending the least amount of resources or human capital. And the best way for them to do that right now, since their nuclear program supposedly is destroyed, is via cyber attacks. And they've definitely had ties to cyber intrusions here in the United States. Iranian cyber hackers have went after U.S. infrastructures before. There's numerous news articles out there. You can go ahead and search the internet and they'll pop up, but that is definitely something that I think Iran will probably dabble into. What better way to strike back at the country that just about crippled you militarily in your prized nuclear program than getting a bunch of millennials or Gen Zers in a room, give them a computer, and then they can literally shut off fuel, power, and the water supply of a given area in the United States and cause hate and discontent and a lot of issues. So, yeah, that is definitely not only possible, but extremely probable. And I actually look for Iran to conduct some form of cyber attacks on U.S. infrastructure. Number 5, the final one, is attacks on U.S. bases, embassies, and U.S. personnel within the Middle East. Now, right before I started recording this video, there's news reports of Iran actually firing missiles at the military base in Qatar. I do believe it's Camp Uday. And then you've also got Camp Doha that's in Qatar as well. Some of the reports that I was reading was that the Iranians called in advance and was like, hey, we're going to strike these places. So I don't know how credible those reports are. And if that is the case, then this is definitely one of those things of like what happened with the Israelis and the Iranians when they first started launching missiles back at each other at the beginning of the year. Yeah, we're going to fire these missiles, but we're not going to target anything important. That way it looks like they're saving face. So could that potentially be what's going on? Yes. Because if they are truly that damaged, the Iranians are that damaged militarily and the nuclear program has been decapitated, then you really don't want to continue to poke the bear that just kicked your butt. So that is definitely a possibility, but we're not going to know until more of the battle assessment comes out over the next couple of days. But I do think that there will be more. I think that our bases and personnel in Iraq are definitely susceptible to Iranian attack. They're definitely within striking distance. I think our embassies in the Middle East are definite prime targets. And the Trump administration knows this. This is why a lot of the non-essential personnel that are in these embassies have been evacuated. And really the only people that are left in these embassies in the Middle East are essential personnel. And then you have what they call Marine security guards. I actually was a Marine security guard. So you take Marines and then you put them in an embassy and they guard classified material, American property and personnel. So, and then like the embassy in Iraq, they have a whole company of Marines that are there that their sole purpose is just for security of things like embassies. So that is the most likely thing I see transpiring as far as retaliation from the Iranian government. I think they will continue to strike our military bases, our embassies, and personnel and interests within the region. I do believe that they're going to conduct some form of cyber attacks, and they're probably going to sprinkle in some Iranian cell activation terror attacks as well. Now, with all that being said, how can you prepare for any of these scenarios to take place? First thing you can do is fill up your vehicles and your generators with fuel, along with a couple of fuel cans just in case. Like I said, they could go ahead and blockade the Straits of Hormuz and we might get some form of disruptions with gas and oil. So go ahead and be proactive. Fill up your fuel tanks in your vehicles, fill up the fuel tanks in your generator, and get a fuel can or two full of fuel and store it safely. The next thing you can do is ensure your vehicle is up to date on its maintenance. Just in case you have to bug out, you want to make sure if there is some form of attack here stateside, you want to be able to bug out if you need to. And the best way to bug out is with your vehicle. The next thing that you can do to ensure that you're prepared for if something does happen is ensure your bug out bags and your get home bags are squared away. Make sure that your get home bag in your vehicle is fully stocked. It's all the equipment in there is good to go. It's op checked and you're ready to rock in case something happens. You can't get home via your vehicle. You can grab that get home bag and hot foot it home. Same with your bug out bag. If you're at home and something transpires, some type of retaliatory event transpires and you have to bug out, you can grab your bug out bag and get out of Dodge. So make sure your get home bag and your bug out bag is good to go. The next thing is ensure your emergency backup power generation capabilities are all op checked and are ready to go. If you got a gasoline, propane, or diesel generator, just make it sure, run it, make sure it's all op checked and it's running fine. Make sure you have everything you need to run that generator. Just like this solar generator right here, this Jackery Explorer 1000 V2. I got it completely topped off. I got the solar panels on standby. And if there is any type of Iranian cyber attack that takes down the power grid, I can utilize this, plug it up to my refrigerator, and my food and everything is good to go. And then I've got about 5 other solar generators that I can disperse throughout the rest of the house. Not to mention my 5,285 watt gasoline generator. So ensure your emergency backup power generation capabilities are op checked and are squared away. Next, ensure you have a minimum of 2 weeks of food and water, and you have some type of water purification method. That's at a minimum. Again, if there's a cyber attack, if that shuts down infrastructure and transportation, or takes down the power grid, you're not going to be able to go out and buy anything. So the best thing to do is already have these supplies on hand. 2 weeks is a minimum. I would probably, me personally, I would get at least a month, but 2 weeks is a minimum. 2 weeks of food, water, and the ability to purify and filter water. Last but not least, in this crazy world we live in, anything can happen at any time. So If you have a CCW or you live in a state that has constitutional carry, carry your firearm responsibly and legally. And be aware of your surroundings. Be a good citizen. Be a good American. Carry responsibly and legally. And be aware of what's going on. Be aware of what's going on, so if something transpires, one of these scenarios we've just discussed happens, you can go ahead and protect you, your family, your loved ones, your friends, and your property from any damages or any further damages, and you can get everybody out of the area safely. All right, YouTube, that about does it for this video. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like this content, please hit that subscribe button. Share this video with your friends and family. Let me know in the comments below what you like and what you don't like. And this is Gunnery Sergeant 67. I'm out.